NASA just touched the sun, and what it discovered shocked scientists around the world. But the most incredible part is that this mission was never supposed to survive where it went. Imagine flying a spacecraft into a region where temperatures reach millions of degrees, a place so extreme that for decades scientists believed it could never be explored directly. Yet NASA did exactly that. In December 2021, NASA's Parker Solar Probe became the first spacecraft in history to enter the sun's outer atmosphere, known as the corona. This achievement was the result of years of engineering, planning, and scientific ambition. The mission was launched in 2018 with one goal: get closer to the sun than any spacecraft ever had before. To survive the journey, engineers built a special heat shield designed to withstand temperatures that would instantly destroy ordinary materials. As the spacecraft traveled closer and closer to the sun, it repeatedly broke its own distance records. With every pass, it entered an environment that no human-made object had ever explored, and what scientists found there began challenging some of their long-standing assumptions about our nearest star. One of the biggest mysteries involved the corona itself. For years, researchers struggled to understand why the sun's surface is much cooler than the corona above it. Logically, temperatures should decrease as you move farther away from the source of heat. But the opposite happens. While the visible surface of the sun reaches thousands of degrees, the corona can become millions of degrees hotter. Scientists knew this mystery existed. They just didn't know why. The Parker Solar Probe was designed to help solve that puzzle. As it moved through the corona, the spacecraft collected data directly from the region instead of observing it from a distance. For the first time, scientists could measure conditions from inside the sun's atmosphere, and almost immediately, the mission started revealing surprises. Researchers detected powerful magnetic structures, unexpected bursts of energy, and strange patterns in the solar wind flowing away from the sun. These discoveries suggested that the sun is far more dynamic and complex than previously thought. But perhaps the most surprising findings were still ahead. Because the deeper the spacecraft traveled into the sun's atmosphere, the more evidence it uncovered that some of our biggest ideas about how the sun works might be incomplete, and what NASA discovered next could change the way we understand the star that makes life on Earth possible. As Parker Solar Probe continued its journey through the sun's atmosphere, scientists began observing something they had never seen so clearly before: the solar wind. This constant stream of charged particles flows away from the sun in every direction and spreads throughout the entire solar system. It affects planets, satellites, astronauts, and even technology here on Earth. For decades, researchers knew the solar wind existed, but they still struggled to understand exactly how it forms and accelerates to such incredible speeds. The Parker Solar Probe finally gave them a front-row seat. As the spacecraft traveled through the corona, its instruments detected sudden reversals in the sun's magnetic field. Scientists called these events switchbacks. Imagine driving down a highway and suddenly finding the road twisting sharply in the opposite direction before straightening out again. That is similar to what these magnetic structures looked like. Although hints of switchbacks had been detected before, Parker revealed that they were far more common and powerful than anyone expected. These magnetic disturbances appeared to carry enormous amounts of energy. Researchers now believe they may play a major role in heating the corona and accelerating the solar wind. That alone was a major breakthrough. But the surprises did not stop there. The spacecraft also discovered that the boundary of the corona was not smooth or uniform. Instead, it appeared uneven and constantly changing. Scientists had imagined a more predictable transition between the sun's atmosphere and the solar wind, escaping into space. What they found was much more complicated. The corona seemed alive with motion, shaped by powerful magnetic forces that shifted and interacted in ways that were difficult to predict. These observations are helping researchers build more accurate models of solar activity, and that matters more than many people realize. The sun is not just a giant glowing ball in the sky. Its activity can directly affect life on Earth. Large solar eruptions can send massive clouds of charged particles toward our planet. When those particles interact with Earth's magnetic field, they can trigger geomagnetic storms. In severe cases, these storms can disrupt communications, damage satellites, interfere with GPS systems, and even affect electrical power grids. The better scientists understand the sun, the better they can predict these events before they happen. That is one reason the Parker Solar Probe mission is considered so important. It is not simply exploring the sun out of curiosity. It is helping humanity prepare for the effects of space weather that can impact modern civilization. And as remarkable as these discoveries were, the spacecraft was still moving closer. With each orbit, Parker entered regions that had never been explored before. And the closer it got, the more extraordinary the discoveries became. By the time Parker Solar Probe completed multiple close approaches to the sun, it had already rewritten parts of solar science. But perhaps the most important discovery was not a single observation. It was the realization that the sun is even more complex than scientists imagined. The mission revealed a star filled with constantly changing magnetic structures, powerful energy releases, and dynamic processes occurring on enormous scales. Many of the mysteries that puzzled researchers for decades are now closer to being solved. Yet every answer seems to create new questions. Scientists continue analyzing the vast amount of data sent back by the spacecraft. With each new study, they gain a deeper understanding of how our star operates, and that knowledge extends far beyond the sun itself. Stars are among the most common objects in the universe. By understanding the processes taking place inside our own star, researchers can better understand countless other stars scattered throughout the galaxy. The Parker Solar Probe is also helping improve our ability to forecast space weather. This may sound like a distant scientific concern, but it has real-world consequences. Modern society depends heavily on satellites, communication networks, navigation systems, and electrical infrastructure. A powerful solar storm has the potential to disrupt many of these technologies. The more accurately scientists can predict solar activity, the better prepared we can be. And the mission is not over yet. The spacecraft continues making increasingly close passes around the sun. During each encounter, it collects new information from regions that remain largely unexplored. Every orbit brings humanity closer to understanding one of nature's greatest mysteries. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is that it was once considered impossible. For generations, the sun could only be observed from a distance. Its secrets remained hidden behind extreme temperatures and intense radiation. Now, for the first time in history, humanity has successfully sent a spacecraft directly into the sun's atmosphere. The idea sounds almost unbelievable, yet it is real. NASA built a machine capable of surviving one of the harshest environments in the solar system and used it to gather information that may transform our understanding of the universe. So when people say NASA touched the sun, they are not speaking metaphorically. A human-made spacecraft truly entered the sun's outer atmosphere and returned with discoveries that are reshaping modern science. And perhaps the most exciting part is this: the greatest discoveries may still lie ahead. Because every time Parker Solar Probe races back toward the sun, it ventures into territory that no spacecraft has ever explored before. And somewhere within that sea of fire, there may be answers to questions humanity has not even thought to ask yet. The story of touching the sun is not over. In many ways, it has only just begun.